Good day, one and all. Welcome back to Pyre on PlayFrame. We've a choice to make again. Which one are we going to, and where are things in the standings? The Withdrawn are currently our front runners now. The Fate got bumped down a little bit. Dissidents coming up again. Chastity kind of hanging around the middle. Essence bumped way down after that loss. Pyre Hearts and Accusers and Tempers all kind of living at the bottom. Goodness, Tempers, how are you doing so badly this time? You guys are usually like the favorites. If the Withdrawn are an option, I kind of feel like I would rather not be facing either them or the Dissidents in the final round, if I could. So, we could take the Pyre Hearts on, and that just seems kind of mean. We could take the Withdrawn on, and that's probably what we're going to do here. Or the Fate. Yeah, I'd be fine going up against the Fate in the finals if that's what it came to. Let's knock you further down the listings. And get some more book pages! The Withdrawn and the Witch Udmilte have designs upon the rights that have nothing to do with being free again. What they seek, no one in good conscience could abide. He then reveals what he has learned of her and her designs. Witch Udmilte, one of the bog dwellers and head of the Withdrawn, a triumvirate more interested in legends of Islach the Astralborn than in the rites. Her kind was known to be reclusive in the Commonwealth, yet she was brazen in her disdain for common values. She practiced the unspeakable. Somehow, one day, her research into flammable reagents grew into an obsession with Islach, despite widely held belief that he is dead or never did exist. But Udmilte held that Islach is merely dormant, and shall someday be reborn with newfound hunger, which could only be sated by devouring the world. Then at last could Islach return to his glorious home, and Udmilte would go with him. When Commonwealth officials showed up to take Udmilte in for spreading unrest, she was all too eager to comply. After all, a sentence to the downside meant being that much closer to Islach's resting place, where she believed she had much work to do, where the Withdrawn stood ready to assist. She speaks in seeming riddles, yet the thread of her intentions, I think, cannot be dismissed. Let us be on our guard, and therefore let us rest now while we can. You bid Vulfrid a restful night in kind. It is too late to take flight, so you expect to press onward come daylight. Who wants to talk? Before I read books. Hello. Despite Pamitha's mental conditioning, you can tell something is troubling her. She won't listen to a word I say. Not one damned word. If she weren't my blood sister, I should think I'd hate her guts as much as she hates mine. She shakes her head. I should apologize. To you and to everyone. I sought out Tamitha without asking your leave. Figured I'd rather seek forgiveness than permission, you understand. My attempts with Tamitha didn't amount to much, as you well saw. So, at this point, I'm hopeful you'll be more accepting of apologies than she. Though, tell me something, reader darling. Do you suppose I'm going to betray you? You may know better than I do at this point. Pamitha wishes to know where you think her loyalties lie. I feel like I trust her at this point. She has made quite clear that her priority is to her blood sister. True. But her blood sisters really made it abundantly clear how uninterested she is in that. Loyalty has to be earned. You believe she will stand with the Nightwings. I would like to think so. You expressed to Pamitha that you do not view her efforts to make peace with Tamitha as being contradictory to the group's larger goals. You understand why she did what she did. She says nothing for a while. That's kind of you to say, darling. May the others see it with such generosity. But if they don't, you need but tell me to depart and I'll be on my way. However, I have a promise that I wish to make to you. You let me stay, and I'll see this through with all of you, no matter where we all end up. I'll be on the roof for a bit, I think. You take care too, darling. Despite Pamitha's disappointment with the outcome of her confrontation with her blood sister, You sense she is less troubled now, after your brief conversation. Well, good. I'm gonna read a book. We have new pages, including a new one here, I think. Or do we? It almost seemed like it shimmered for a second, but I don't think it did. No, I don't think so. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. Just in case. Let's read it. Just in case. I feel like we did read all these, but I could be wrong. The scribe's deeds. In the words of Gol Golathanian. I wish to be remembered not for boastfulness. Thus I refrain from detailing our exploits across the land, save to say they were numerous. Know that only through our combined strength of arms and wit did we withstand this savage land. Such were the monstrous dangers that it posed. I came to see that all the terrors which I heard at bedside in my youth were based entirely in fact. So great they were, they blotted out the sky. Such was the evil that we vanquished, that the remnants of it yet shine under the stars, and in the end, it was the stars which guided us toward our truest calling. That did seem pretty new. So yeah, maybe that was a new one. Fortunately, by the time, before the playthrough is done, I'll probably do just a big reading through of everything we've got in the book, so anything that I might have accidentally missed, we'll get it later. Fear not. In the meantime, flagging hands, in the words of Molten Milith. Beyond the valley lies the flagging hands, which could be called a swamp, if an entire sea could merely be a lake. Soon after our arrival, several of us fell into a dark despair. Such were the environs. I found it rather fascinating, though. It held aspects reminiscent of the southern bogs we dwelt in as a tad. We grew accustomed to the dampness of the air and grew to savor certain twigs and beetles. It can be said the flagging hands are an acquired taste, recommendable only for those of our same bent, or perhaps the downside's native imps. The sea surrounded the environs on all three sides, appearing insurmountable at first. We've done Dromure Valley and Mount Alodil. So, the Pit of Milith. In the words of Luz Glorian, if there is one celestial landmark in which I would never again wish to tread, unless of course the stars beseeched me to, it has to be the pit. 'Twas dark in there beyond all reckoning. If not for Milith's sorcerous lantern, all of us, we all would have been lost. What lies within the pit is not to be invoked, although I've no doubt our goodly Underking shall be unable to prevent himself from boasting of how Milith sealed it there for an entire age. The thing yet lies there, on the edge of death. Through its connection to the stars, it gives the pit significance. Walk there with courage and a steady mind. Right. Got that one. Yeah, I think we've got all this. So, 9 triumvirates, now let's read of the essence. In the words of Haub the Swallow. The winged members of the essence, each chosen by the matriarch Triesta Tithys, are living exemplars of liberty and piety. Would that my wings could be thus. Once, you of course must know, we all had wings. It is said the people of the Empire relinquished theirs, drawn in by earthly matters as they were. But the harps, such as Triesta, held tight the liberty their plumage could afford. These divergent paths did cause a share of differences between the winged and the wingless over time. But here, in this land, our purposes are shared, our goals united. That, then, is the essence. That is who they are, and what, and why. Really loving this book. Anyway, the journey continues. To somewhere. Being here in flagging hands continues to sap most everyone's spirits. So it goes. Let's take off. Leave this dump. Maybe see if there's a point of interest anywhere to be observed. Hello, various losers and the like. Woe be to any of you who meet us on the field of sports. Any points of interest? Well, there's that one there, but that's more or less our destination. Suppose I shouldn't go wandering all over the entire world every time. It's quite possible that the points of interest won't update all over the world map until another liberation rite. If even then. Whatever. The Hulk of Oris. It has drifted here upon the sea for longer than one might expect. Perhaps you've already read of the doomed ship's demise in the embrace of unfathomed Plurnis. Some say it was the sea itself which preserves the ship's remains. Hidden properties within the water, sea creatures binding together ruined planks of wood. Those such as yourselves and the Withdrawn know another truth, I gather. The stars would not align over the wreckage if it did not have greater significance than first appears. May you have good fortune there during the coming rite. Thank you. Let's see. Shay wants to go here. Shay also wants to go here. Tizo wants to go here. And that one will give us vocations as an option. You know what, Shay? I would love to learn more of you. I feel like I still don't have much of a grasp of you in general. You touch down at the Sea of Solis, where you first encountered Sir Gilman and the Pyre Hearts. You soon shall carry on by sea, though for now, you have some time to spare. The Beyonder Crystal seeks Pamitha does it! You're the boss, assistant coach. You called for me, lovely reader. Sure did. How's it going? You know, my lovely reader, I must admit that I did not expect your little followers to be quite so receptive to instruction as thus far they've proved. I know not whether they owe it all to you, or have somewhat more to them than I was first inclined to think. In any case, however, I am pleased that they are not entirely disgraceful. I like to keep my expectations well in check, seeing as I have been thus expelled until the end of time. So it is pleasant when those expectations are exceeded every now and then. Although, I cannot quite recall when last that was. But the best part of all this are these brief times in which you visit me in my domain. I know you cannot for long. This damned crystal in which I'm enthralled shall see to that. Though, as you've perhaps surmised, whenever it decides that one of your little friends is worthwhile enough, why, I can offer them a trial, and likewise I can offer you a chat. Sometimes I think, as you achieve those trials of mine, perhaps it does something to trim the length of my eternal banishment. Eternity being what it is, however, perhaps not. Still, if the trophies of those blasted scribes are worth anything to you, then all you need is but to brave my trials, and they can be yours. And perhaps there's good in it for me as well. Then something changes in her, and she changes the subject. I've likely said too much. I am not to influence you in your use of the Beyonder Crystal. It's not there to be tampered with by anyone, including me. Forget what I said. I'll try. Can we do a trial, though? Oh, that can be arranged. You need but name for me the one you have in mind. Pamitha, you're up. You asked Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Pamitha. Oh, you mean that feisty harp? She may yet be taught some manners, I should think. I shall attempt to bring her down to size. Let us bring her forth. Soon, Pamitha arrives, in heed of the summons. You called for me, reader darling. Oh, it's that crystal. Then let's hash it out. I'm ready. I hope so. These have kind of been the hardest challenges yet. The apparition, Sandra, appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, harp. You answer to me here. Oh, a bossy one. Sure then, go on and tell me more. Such a delightful student for a change. Come then, let us see what you can do, left to your own devices. Save for your reader's vigilance, of course. Let's show her what she wants to see then, reader darling. Okay. Yep. Nope. Ha. Points for me. I feel like being evasive might be a smart play. Evasive and flying. Yep. Oh, dropped it. No. That's unfortunate for me. Dang. Fly. Score. We got this. Ah, too slow. And they're too fast. It's all right, though. Nah. Come on. That's a very far dash you've got. Yeah, I might need to see about taking one or two of them out. That did not go as hoped. Okay, we better get back on the offensive. Boy, we're just giving up the win here. Nope. Come on. There it is. Whew. Close. There now. Is everybody happy? Oh, happy as can be, my doubtless pretty harp. So good of you to ask. On top of that, your performance was sufficient and you passed my test. You have my congratulations both to you and to your lovely reader. Now be gone from here before I have any second thoughts. Okay. Good game. Very good. My, that Sandra sure could use a massage or something. So angry, isn't she? Say, what's that you have there, darling? Triesta's plume for you. While flying, after dousing the adversary's pyre, Pamitha may instantly return and deals 3. She could no longer fly, and yet her tears she shed for her assailants, for they could cry no longer. Well, congrats on your reward. Let's go ahead and equip it on you. Okay, and here you go. Right. Let's organize these things a little bit. A little bit better than they are currently, at least. Just for my own sake. Okay. Boy, we've not had Jodariel in a match for a while, but she just has a commanding lead rank-wise. Okay, let us explore. You meet up with Shay, who suggested you go ranging with her through Ragged Rock. Oh, I enjoy these walks, so can we go now? Together, you set out to explore the undulating waves around the Black Wagon. You find little to speak of, other than desolation typical of the downside. I think I've seen enough, and I think I'm beginning to miss the others. You and Shay make your way back to the wagon. Though uneventful, your search helped ease the burden weighing on you and leaves you with time to pursue your vocations. That'd be great. Well, we've kind of been searching already and didn't find much. And these are, like, nice for having the boosts. But I do kind of love giving one of our companions, like, a big experience gain. Who shall it be? Who's furthest behind, I guess? to be Gilman. We mentor you. This knight is always keen to take even the barest scraps of wisdom, Master Reader. You and Sir Gilman spend some time reviewing some of the specific aspects of the rites, such as the properties of the aura. You sense he gained something from it. Very good. This knight has no idea what the Master Reader said exactly, yet feels smarter nonetheless. I'm very glad. Good, good. Someone wants to talk. Ah. You find Pamitha by herself again, though her expression is grown darker than her custom. Leave me be, would you, Reader darling? Trying to get some good and proper moping done here, and you're distracting me. Leave me be, Reader. Just leave me be, Reader. Just leave me be. You don't want to know what's lurking in my heart or mind. What you'll find there isn't pretty. Yet something about her thought process is different to you now. You know that, with her conditioning, she can resist your scrutiny, but now her thoughts are laid bare to you. Pamitha is alone with her thoughts. Would that we could all simply understand each other without a need for words. Pamitha knows how to volunteer her thoughts more readily if she has something to share. Difficult choice. Like, I do want to know. I do worry that it is still going to feel like prying, like a little bit of a violation. Even if it does feel like her guard is not as up. Like, she might be kind of wanting us to inquire and kind of wanting to share, but conflicted about it. I do want to know, though. Pamitha seems to be inviting you into her thoughts. You remain there in that lonesome space with her. What is it going to take, I wonder, Tamitha? Shall I just go ahead and kill them all? That would be proof enough, perhaps, about my loyalties to you and our sisters. Perhaps I ought to start with this one right in front of me. The bond between you severs as Pamitha opens her eyes and stares at you. Then she smiles sweetly and gives a gentle laugh. You see, Reader darling, my thoughts are rather cumbersome at times. But do not fear, I have them very well under control. Still, thoughts being the loathsome thing they are, I nonetheless cannot fully suppress them. She exhales and looks askance. You know by now why I'm in this mess with all of you. You could say I lacked Tamitha's sense of commitment, her zeal. She lives only to see your nation overthrown. Or something worse, if she could have her way. Centuries of conflict can be quite emboldening that way, especially when one's sister's leading cause of death is Commonwealth-forged steel. Wielded with the utmost of mercy, of course. Well, I had little patience for the senselessness of it myself. Became a bit of a pariah, I suppose. I knew Tamitha was going to get herself and others killed someday. So when she has to fly out on this one big mission of hers, I had other arrangements made. But after she was caught, your people did not exactly uphold their end of the bargain. I knew there were such risks, of course, and yet, a chance is still a chance. Tamitha was clipped and cast down. A mercy, they called it. I did not see it that way. And in my growing protests of her treatment, I was soon enough to follow. She falls silent for a while. I haven't yet decided if I entirely regret my actions. But I do seek Tamitha's forgiveness and wish that she could see my thoughts for what they are, as it seems you can. Then she might realize our nation's people have much more in common than she knows. Sometimes I wonder which of them's the stupider. She brushes past you and out of the wagon for now. Thanks for sharing. I'll have to catch up on our team's bios again later too. We've had an update or two. Anyhow, the journey continues. To the Hulk of Oris, for the rights against Udmilte and the Withdrawn. En route to the Hulk of Oris, the wagon comes to a sudden halt. That does it. I'm leaving. The cause of Jodariel's outburst soon becomes apparent. Well, reader darling, at least some of us know how to take a joke, wouldn't you say? Look, she was reminiscing once again about her soldier days, and I just happened to point out, I may have suggested the fiery destruction of the Spiral Sanctum happened on her former unit's watch. I mean, didn't it? Not that she would have made much of a difference had she been there herself. She ought to thank the saint that she was spared by her exile here. I thought she held no love for your commonwealth. I shall never understand what it is your people ever saw in that dreadful place, but I guess I hit a sore spot. I should probably apologize. She swoops off. There is no sign of either one of them. You organize a small search. It proves fruitless. But then, Jodariel returns, alone, as if nothing happened. She's back to her calm self. Let us continue. I regret the interruption. Pamitha soon comes back as well. Oh, don't you worry, darling. I've definitely patched things up between us. Honest. At least, I think perhaps I didn't make things worse. She returns to her business in the wagon. You make ready to resume your travels, but make a note to follow up with them. That's a good idea, yes. I love how many random events can be happening. It's like they've taken all the different aspects of team sports and managing a team in like a professional sporting scenario, like coaching your team and helping them to like improve and grow and get better, getting to know them better, helping them to like work through their like problems and hang-ups, helping them to work better together, occasionally having to do like conflict resolution, and then eventually also like having to sometimes like send off a star player into like a star player will retire and the rest of the team will have to like manage without. Like there's so many aspects that are just sort of sports things that they have skinned in a very fantasy way. And it's very clever. It works shockingly well. Let's shop. Oh, hey guys, look, I got something here I think which maybe you would like. He shows you several bottles of multicolored liquids of some sort. Sun Serum, which grants +4 hope. Star Serum, which grants +4 quickness, and Moon Serum, which grants presence. Usable once. I see. Yeah, they taste pretty good, I guess. And besides, they can give you just a little lift you need. You know what I mean? You get thirsty for them, don't even worry, I can get more soon. Neat. Hey, could you get like a page, though? I want to buy pages from your... Okay, well, yeah, I'll take it. Really should try to make some more cash at some point. Buy more of these things. Must be our lucky day here. Or don't I know what, Dad? Who needs a chat? Yeah, I kind of figured. You find Pamitha in the midst of a heated conversation. All I'm saying is, we're limiting not only our own chances individually, but all of your friends' chances as well. Jodariel seems to be considering whatever it is that Pamitha proposed. Reader, the harp here is suggesting that perhaps it would be best if I were to form an alliance with the ones whom I fought for the better part of my life. Just with me, Jodariel. I cannot vouch for anybody else. How utterly absurd. If we were in the Commonwealth, I would not have stayed my hand against her. That I can say for certain. However, as Hedwyn would say, what happened back there, perhaps none of that matters anymore, and what matters more is what we do from here. That is to say, I'm willing to give it a shot. You mean you'd be willing to conduct the rites with me? Yes. Excellent. I knew that you would come around. Thought she'd never come around. But I ought to give her the benefit of the doubt here. I'm grateful for your open-mindedness. No need to let old enmities between our ancestors ruin things between us, or the others in our little party for that matter. After all, do not push it with me, Harp. We shall see if the reader here is thus inclined to pair us in the coming rites. I'm willing to defer to him. Anyway, you see, I think I managed to make amends there. Doubtless we'll get on swimmingly in no time. They're now willing to conduct the rites together. I had forgotten that they weren't willing to before. But good. I guess we're doing that today. Hope for the best. What's shining? Is it just that there's new information in here, or yes. Pamatha biography. She was a Talon ace of the High Wing Remnants, who possessed the talent of her sisters but not their single-minded zeal. She grew weary of the fighting and decided she would put an end to it. Thus, when a critical battle approached, the Commonwealth was waiting, and her own blood sister was among the harps captured and clipped. She was more guilt-stricken by this turn than she expected. When she attempted to contact her blood sister in exile, she was told that she could seek her firsthand, and was exiled in turn. We've gotten a lot of, reveals and time and all that with Pamatha in this cycle of rites. Quite glad for it. Anywho, speaking of which, game faces. Though the now familiar surroundings of the Hulk of Horus make preparations faster than before, the stars are already aflame by the time you and the others are gathered. At last. Well, Jodariel, I have every faith in your ability in this. Our adversary is a known quantity. I am prepared. You wish them all good fortune in turn. Little else is said, and together you watch the celestial harmony in calm and silence, and await the withdrawn. Oh. Something else catches your notice in the sky this time. Strange new stars shimmering about the ones you recognize. The greater titans have returned. Some of them, and merely in spirit, not in form, but those dark stars are a portentous sign. Though they may light your way, beware the path which they illuminate, reader. Henceforth you may invite the influence of the titan stars. I beg your pardon, what? Omens in the night sky, each representing one of the downside's mythical monstrosities. Use the Titan stars for a greater challenge, you say. Slain or routed long ago, the greater Titans are an indelible part of the legend of the Eight Scribes. Look upon them without fear, some fear, one fear.
Behold the Titan stars.
Yeah, I see him. Let's investigate. Endriga the Widow. At the start of this rite, your pyre shall automatically suffer 30 damage. Call upon the Titan stars to rank up faster, though. Limbless Arazek. Your adversaries each shall have +8 hope, making them return sooner after banishment. Oh dear. Or Islach Astralborn. Your adversaries shall be more cunning and much quicker to react. Let's go with this one. I've not been scored upon too many times in these past rites, so
Endriga the Widow.
I feel like I can do it. We could turn on multiple ones, couldn't we? Totally could. Let's ease in. Start with just one. And begin. I love that they're still adding new systems.
The Titan stars. Burning remnants of monstrosities felled by the scribes themselves. Dare you to stand against them in their fury? Dark is the knowledge that you seek there, reader. Best focus on your adversaries, keen as they are to confront you once again. Put out their fire first, and show them the glory of the Night Wings. Now then, make ready for the rite!
Ooh, I feel like the layout of the arena is slightly different. Like our pyre placement, at the very least. It's cool that changes too. Previous time, besmirched our flames, ye did. A mockery. This time, all Frieslach. No matter the result and no matter the cost. The withdrawn. Let us show them what the Night Wings can do. Gonna try.
The rite shall begin forthwith.
Okie dokie. Well, we're definitely putting in these two.
Jodariel.
It's dramatically correct. And lastly, Shay.
Shay, very well.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Hear us, Islach. Bring to us thy terrible power. Or don't, Islach, and just sit this one out. It's an option.
Sinners.
Good pass. Almost. Almost. No, you don't. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Yipes. Score!
The Nightwings first of all.
Ye stand against us once again. Be gone, irrelevant to us or to our purpose. Nope. Nope. Oh no. Oh no.
Some claimed again.
Let's play some defense, huh? Nope. Oh boy. This I will be having. Fly. Ha ha. That was quite reckless and pointless.
The orb quenches the flame.
How dare. So be it.
A stroke of luck is all.
Nope. Ah, dang. Mine then. Almost got away. Nope.
Thoroughly banished.
Did you just fall? You did.
Her wings have served her.
You fell in a hole. You fool.
Wow.
Oh boy. No. Got a little greedy with that one, I suppose. Yipes.
Now go.
Nope. Oh, it jumped. Yes.
Yes.
It's working.
Now end the ceremony. Zap.
I've got impressive blasting range with this aura. Get out of here.
United in banishment.
Nope, that didn't quite work. Nope, not great, not great. Get out of here. Look at that nonsense. Nope.
Oh,
They're definitely putting up more of a fight, though. Flying. Still flying. Ah. Dang it. Back on the field. You're out of here.
Milda banished.
You're out of here. Oh, no.
You poor Nightwings.
Yep.
Thrust straight into your flames.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Got us a close game, though.
Show of strength from the Nightwings.
I cannot believe you just scooted in there. Are you kidding me with that nonsense? Unacceptable. Oh, boy. Nope.
I thought they had you there.
I was a little worried they might too, actually.
All of them. And it is done.
That was very
The
close.
Nightwings prevail yet again. Perhaps a stroke of fortune ought to be thanked.
Yeah, I think so. Fortune got a word in this
The
time.
right is done.
Islach savors defeat. Thine, ours, he cares not. Ye shall see.
The rights do tend to teach something of trust.
Yay. Utter nonsense, all of this. That we've come this far. Fortune alone cannot be the cause. Hey, you can get your last thing. Can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them. Yeah, I like that. Very good, very good.
Until the next right.
That one was definitely close. I could see a loss happening at some point. Back at the wagon, after defeating the Withdrawn in a close contest, you are about to join the others discussing the outcome when Wulfred finds you. Good work back there, my boy. Though I'm afraid I must pull you away from any revelry, for there's something you should see. Please, join me outside. Look forth. The golden star reveals itself to us once more. Indeed, somewhere deep in the infinite dark, a single star shines brighter than the rest. The path to freedom reveals itself again. Well, when we come back next time, looks like it's time for another liberation rite. And who are we up against? Hey, it looks like fate, held in there. So, that should be a good one. See y'all next time for that, though. Goodbye.